Hi, I'm Grace. I'm half Indonesian, half Australian. I was born in Indonesia, raised there till about 5, before moving to Singapore, South America, and finishing off my school and university in Australia. I then worked in Australia for almost 5 years before leaving my job and taking a year off to figure out what it was that I wanted to do, and then moved back to Singapore in late 2009. So I set up my business Agent Grace in February 2010, and I set it up in Singapore with my partner, Artika Sulaiman. Agent Grace is a multi-level boutique agency, one level, and on the other, it's a fashion sales agency. So we were representing 8 Australian brands and mainly focused on Australian businesses coming into the Southeast Asian region who were needing help in business development strategy, marketing or PR, public relations, and didn't quite understand the landscape or the market and needed some assistance. I was actually offered the fashion agency aspect of the business from a close friend in mid-2009. And at this point, I had taken my year off after working for 5 years, or almost 5 years, for an Australian fashion brand, Gorman. And I wasn't 100% sure if this was the direction that I wanted to go to, but realized it was a great opportunity and that Singapore was a great place to base the business. I've always realized I would be an entrepreneur, I guess. I remember when I was starting out at Gorman, I was given a questionnaire, and one of the questions was, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? And I answered, I will either be the CEO of a not-for-profit or my own NGO or business. And though I'm not a CEO, I have founded my own company, and I am continuing to work for myself. So I think that was one aspect where I felt it was always inside of me, and the other is that my father himself was an entrepreneur or diplomat turned entrepreneur, and also had a very social aspect to most of what he did in his business. So it was sort of a natural progression that I would get here eventually. Adjectives that a client would use to describe me, I guess, would be energetic, passionate, and cheerful. They'd also say creative. I would have to throw in another one in there. So with Agent Grace, I have now done it for almost 3 years, and it was really in April of last year that I decided I wanted to change directions a little bit. I wanted to work on something that had a little bit more impact on society, and at the same time I knew there were gaps within certain sectors, in particular the creative economy, as well as a support system for women entrepreneurs within Asia Pacific. I now also run Creative Mornings Singapore. I co-organize it, with 2 of my partners, Ren Young Ho and Daylin So. At the same time, I am also a co-founder of Secret Women's Business with my partner, Kemi Shu. And Secret Women's Business is a network, an organization for aspiring and current women entrepreneurs. We started in Singapore, and we are growing significantly within the Asia Pacific region. Our aim is to make entrepreneurship accessible to every woman and to help them start a business of any size. We started Secret Women's Business in June 2012 after realizing that there was no free network or community for young, aspiring, and current women entrepreneurs. I am also a power organizer for She Says, which is one of the only global creative networks for women in marketing and creative businesses. So everything that we are doing or that I am doing is either complementing each other or helping to build ecosystems for creative entrepreneurs and professionals or and women entrepreneurs. We provide, so with Creative Mornings started in New York in 2008, and it's a free monthly breakfast lecture series for creative entrepreneurs and professionals. It was started by Uber blogger Tina Roth Eisenberg, otherwise known as Swiss Miss, and has now grown to over 33 chapters globally. Creative Morning Singapore is the first in Asia, and we launched it here in March 2012. As for Secret Women's Business, that was founded by myself and Kemi, and the idea for that is really to provide resources, mentorship, networking opportunities, and a community, a good, strong community for aspiring and current women entrepreneurs within Asia Pacific at this point. So we are less than 1 year old for Secret Women's Business, and we hope that it will continue to grow. We're currently revamping our website and have had a lot of interest from other cities and are looking at a variety of ambassadors in other cities, and hope that by 2013 we will have expanded into some other regions that we have our eye on at the moment. Our target audience for Secret Women's Business is obviously young women, and at the moment it's very much between the ages of 25 through to 35. And for Creative Mornings, it's quite a mix. We have creative entrepreneurs, we have art directors, creative directors, professionals, as well as then academics and students. For Agent Grace, I'm currently consulting on a few SMEs and startups that are based in Singapore and need help with their marketing strategy or business strategy and development. I also have now started lecturing and holding a few workshops for marketing management or strategic brand management. And it's been an interesting ride and something new and challenging for myself in teaching, but I am thoroughly enjoying it just as much as I am with the consulting side of my business. I moved back to Singapore obviously because I'd grown up here, and I always felt that it was somewhere that I wanted to come back to and work. It really has been the right place. Its proximity to other regions and other cities, within the region has been great. I also have a variety of friends who I grew up with who are back here, and I feel a strong connection to connect the dots within the Asia Pacific region. I feel strongly about that, perhaps because I'm half Indonesian, half Australian, and a third culture kid. I feel that it's necessary to bridge the gap, and perhaps it is someone of my upbringing and background that can help to do that in a variety of different sectors. My best advice would be, if you don't like something, change it, and if you can't change it, change your attitude. I strongly believe in that, and for me, I wasn't entirely happy with the way that the creative community was within Singapore, and I also found a lack in the network for women entrepreneurs, and so therefore I decided to do something about it. There's no point complaining about things, and I feel it's best to be proactive and make a change wherever you can, and create positive impact as you go along. I have had a pretty good ride. I wouldn't say that there is anything in particular that I would want to change or do differently. My reason being is that I feel that everything that has happened has taken me to where I am, and it's all been a learning process. And maybe I should have done it earlier, but I think it's all about the right timing for yourself, but also for the area that you end up setting up your business. I'm currently a team of many people. The way I work, though, is probably a little bit different to how others have worked or do work. I partner with different people for different things. So with Agent Grace, it's currently myself at the moment, as my business partner has just had a little baby. But I also partner with two others for Secret Women's Business, which is our network for aspiring and current women entrepreneurs. And for Creative Mornings, I partner with two others, Dalen So and Ren Young Ho. And, I feel the best way for creating impact and also minimizing your time, but having that maximum impact, is by partnering and collaborating with others. So that's why, for me, being able to do as many things as I do is also down to the fact that I partner and have partnered with different individuals who can help build this ecosystem and grow the communities in both the creative sector as well as in the entrepreneurial sector here in Singapore, but across the region. So I would give that as an additional piece of advice, is try and partner with different people for the right things, and in order to ensure greater impact. Things that really complement each other help in everything else that you will or want to do. In the next 3 years, it will stay the same. I hope to continue to partner with other individuals and collaborate with other businesses, and really look at a way of a shared economy model in everything that I do. My biggest challenge, I would have to say, was a lack of a support system. I mean, although we started the business, myself and Artika, for Agent Grace, we were both new in starting a business, and all of our friends, or most of our friends, were in corporate positions. So there wasn't really anyone there to help us in the right direction, and they didn't always understand where we were and what we were doing and why we were doing what we were doing. So I think, in early 2010, the entrepreneurial community in Singapore was not as vibrant, and a lot was more focused, obviously, on tech. So in a way, traditional businesses, or even something such as an agency, was perhaps in a different category. But yeah, having the lack of support or network to tap into for asking questions and direction was tough. But at the same time, it just made us learn faster on our own and decide the directions that we needed to go to for what we were passionate about, and also for what was coming our way business-wise and opportunity-wise. As cliche as this sounds, but my entrepreneurial hero is definitely my father. He did so many different things on so many different levels, and always had an impact wherever he was, not only on a business level, but also on a social level. And I think that has been ingrained in myself, and as I've gotten older, it's become more and more important to do something with a social avenue that gives back to society, but also can enable change within society, whether it's on a smaller scale or on a large scale. We hope that it will be on the larger scale, or I hope that it will be on the larger scale. But yes, he's definitely been the light when it comes down to why I'm here today and what drives me. And it's definitely been an important part of my life.